Glad to have you join us in the play space tonight. Keith Avalone for Play Games. Sam is producing tonight's show and will be making an appearance on camera tonight as well, so something to look forward to. Every once in a while, we like to do a news show talking about what's on the horizon here at play.com, and tonight's that show, so let's do it. We have card set news, we have game news, we've got news about mass production of games, and also news about live events. We're going to go in that order. What?
Do anything, though, you got to scoot a little bit to your...
Oh, am I off camera?
Well, you're off center.
I'm off center. Well, I'm not off camera.
There we go. Much better.
That's Sam's OCD kicking in.
It was noticeable.
Okay. All right. Well, so we've got card set news. We've got game news. We've got news about mass production of games. And we also have live events news, as I was saying. And so let's get to that right now. Let's start with the card set news. We have several card sets to talk about. The first one is something that has actually been in the works. I have my handy-dandy notes here, by the way. I will be referring to them frequently. The first set is something that's actually been in the works for about a year now. Discussion about this card set began at WisCon in Milwaukee last year, right about this time. I may have been actually, was it exactly a year ago? I think it was, or very close. In Milwaukee, sitting down with Kurt Bergland, we were talking about all-time franchise great teams, and of course the set that Al Wilson created for us over a course of several years, and how they were made 10 years ago, and there were players coming onto the scene that were not all-time franchise greats, not included in that set, but who had established themselves in the 10 years since the card set came out. As all-time franchise greats. And it really points to a problem. It's a difficulty. I wouldn't call it a problem. It's just a difficulty with all-time franchise great sets. They don't age, along with the players. So we were talking about how to fix that, and of course, Kurt was great. He put together the update that we released at Christmas time with the 2025 inductees into the all-time franchise greats. But that idea actually came later in the year. The idea we talked about in Milwaukee was a new set of all-time franchise greats, all-time franchise great teams, but centered on just the last 50 years. So it would be from 1975 to 2025, that 50-year time frame. What if we made a set of all-time franchise greats with players who only played in that 50-year time frame? It's a large segment of time, but it's not the full history of baseball, and it's something most of the players would be players that you would have had a good chance of seeing in action. So that was the kind of the genesis of the idea, and we kind of kicked it around through the summertime, and finally I gave Kurt the green light to make it. And he just did a phenomenal job, just as you would expect from Mr. Baseball, Kurt Bergland. So we're calling this set Kurt Bergland's 50 Years of Baseball Greatness. And that is indeed what it is. It is a set of all 30 teams with 24 players per team. They're chosen by Kurt and representing the franchise over that 50-year span. I created the card set template for it. Let's go and take a look at that right now. It's a baseball trading card size card. I've got a big stack of them here. This is what the cards will look like. So they're baseball trading card size, and they have kind of a sort of a I don't know what you'd call this. So not exactly retro, but kind of a timeless feel. You can see that each team has a pennant. We've gone with the faux logos. These faux logos are consistent from the MLB Fury set that we use. So we're trying to build a little consistency with our faux logos. These are of course the American League teams. These are the batters. So the batter cards will look like this. As you can see, there's, I don't need to go through all of these, but you get the idea. Then the pitcher cards will be different. Here's getting through the National League here. The pitcher cards are the reverse. They have the green on the top and the beige off-white on the bottom. But it's the same idea. They've got the pitching qualities here and the same retro look. Now, each of these cards, you'll notice, has a a bio line, a couple of lines about the player, which Kurt composed himself. Kurt made the selections for these teams. Kurt, wrote a couple of lines about each player. I mean, he did his homework. He did the research. Again, not surprising given his his interest and his passion for baseball. So each of these cards has a line that what Kurt says about him. So Zach Britton, Kurt says, a sinker specialist at a time when the pitch had gone out of fashion. Britton saved 47 games in 2016. I don't know if you've got I'm not sure if you can see this, but each of the cards has a card number in the upper. I'll raise it a little bit so you can see it. I mean, let me use the batter cards here. So I'll make this stack again. Has a number starting obviously with number 1. Eddie Murray's card number 1. So the card set number is up here. I guess you can probably see that probably pretty good. Yeah, maybe we need to get a better camera, or maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So, and then the year that the card is based on is here. Then you got your qualities here. You got your batting stance, all the
Give me 1 second. I can focus this.
Well,
I'm gonna hold it up there.
all right.
Just a little longer. There we go. Now they can see.
All right, so you can see you've got the player name, the team name, the positions, the year to the right of the positions, and then all the the fielding, running, and experience qualities at the very bottom. And I will say this is a proof set. We have after the first run through, Kurt said, I wonder if you could make that bottom line a little bit bigger. So we did accommodate that. So this isn't exactly what it looked like. In fact, this is a good time to bring up, as I've printed this out, my original intention was to have a player image of some kind, like a generic baseball card image of a baseball player in this white space here. After having printed them, I thought, well, that actually looks pretty good the way it is. I wonder if I want maybe I shouldn't clutter it up. So I just left it as it was and submitted it to Kurt. But I will say that as in the couple of weeks since I printed these, more and more I'm thinking, it just doesn't feel like a baseball card without baseball player images. So I whipped up a couple of them, and we haven't printed any of these. There's still some proofing left to be done. Just kind of showing this is we're going to be released. We're targeting May 8th for this, so we got a few weeks before release. So this is what it would look like with the player silhouettes. Now they're a little bit different. I did a different gradations. This has the player image at 30% transparency. This is 90%, and this is 75%. So I'm kind of playing with the look, the opacity of it, and I really kind of feel like I like the 75% look. I like having, I don't know. To me, it feels like a baseball card if it's got a baseball player's image on it. So I'm leaning toward that. But of course, any feedback that we get from other people.
We could do a poll right now.
We could do a poll right now, but I don't want to be locked into it because I'm leaning towards doing this and I don't want to be dissuaded.
Okay.
but well, if you want to do a poll, you can do a poll.
This won't be we won't lock in.
I'm not locked into this because I like the images. But I mean, if it's a landslide, then I could be convinced otherwise. It is extra work to put those on there. That is the 50 years of baseball greatness. The great thing about this, or one of the many great things about this card set, and kind of an unexpected great thing, is that because it's a defined slice of baseball history, it's evergreen. Nobody will say 10 years from now, oh, we should. Too bad it doesn't have this guy in it because we didn't know, because it's this defined slice of time, 1975 to 2025. So this set will always be a representation of that particular era. Now, can we argue about who made it and who didn't? Of course, but that's part of the fun of the hobby. I mean, you can't issue any set, without.
Put those on camera too.
Oh, get these back on camera. You can't issue any kind of set like this without having those kind of discussions. And as I told Kurt, that's really part of the fun. You look at any major league club, you've got a handful of guys who, even in a context like this, well, they got to be on the team. They have, but then, you get down to the player number 23, 24, 25. It's like, so there are judgment calls, but that's part of the fun of it. So, there will not be a situation where somebody plays great and then should have been included, because it is a slice of time, 1975 to 2025. So there you go, Kurt Bergland's 50 years of baseball greatness. It has his name on there, and we're just really pleased and excited to release it. We're scheduling this for May 8th. All right, so that is the first set. Let me get a sip of my LaCroix. Second set I want to talk about is not a lot of hubbub with this. This is the 2024-25 pro season cards for Highlight Maker Hoops, the NBA cards. Michael Owens is working feverishly on these right now. Last year we had them out, and it was a surprise. Nobody was expecting it, but Michael got them all finished before the season was over. And we are actually able to play, the championship series with the cards. And we're hoping for the same this year. Expect that will be the case. Might not be, but it will be, it will be available sometime in June, the 2024-25 NBA cards. Late June, let's see. You know what? I jumped ahead on my list. That's mid-June is the Highlight Maker Hoops cards. Before that, Memorial Day weekend, we're going to release the fictional hockey set. We're calling it the XHL. And as I say that, I always think of that TV clip of Vince McMahon at the Las Vegas Stadium in 2001 when he was announcing the XFL to the sold out crowd at Sam Boyd Stadium in Vegas. And he gets on his microphone and says, "This is the XFL." So I always think of that when I'm talking about the XHL. It is the XHL, summertime hockey. Now, of course, we're calling it with this. Of course, this set can be used in a traditional sense. It's traditional. There's nothing crazy about the ratings or anything like that. But we're just kind of spinning it off as an alternative hockey league, similar to the Flota concept that we used last year. So I bounced this question to a number of people at IndyCon, St. Patrick's convention a couple weeks ago in Indiana, and I said, if you had a group of wealthy owners, deep pockets, money is no object, who wanted to start a new hockey league, what innovations would you implement in that hockey league? And I got some great answers, and we will be implementing some of those ideas. I'm not going to spill all the beans. I mean, of course, people suggested, a 2-point goal, like a 2-point line, or even a 3-point line. But one item one rules change that is going to make it. I think it's brilliant. In fact, probably the NHL should adopt it. And this comes from Brock Riblet. I was having dinner with Brock and Blake Wilson and Gary Brown. And I posed this question, and we were kicking around, and we were talking about ties. What do you do with ties? Nobody likes a tie. Well, some people like ties. But you got the shootout. Nobody really likes a shootout. Well, anyway, long story short, Brock suggested, what if you had the shootout at the beginning of the game? So the first thing you do before you play the game, you have the shootout. And then whoever wins the shootout, if it's a tie, they win the game. You don't have anything after the game. What a great idea. So we're gonna suggest that as one of the rules for the XHL. And we have some others. The cards themselves will be bold, to say the least. This is, again, a mock-up. These are not actual team colors here. We just, just kind of a test color palette. But the cards will look similar to this. They'll be very bold, very attention-getting, and I think we're going to probably change this font here. This is sort of just a filler font we use for the qualities. But this is kind of what it's going to look like. We have 20 franchises. I think all these cards are for Washington. And we don't even have a Washington franchise in our XHL. We do have a New Orleans franchise, though. Ricky Berner will be happy to hear that. I won't spill all the beans. We'll have a special dedicated XHL show. But we have 20 teams, and I should also mention there is carryover, there is continuity from our previous fictional hockey leagues. Now, just a quick primer on the Play Games fictional hockey series. We started in 2010 with the World Hockey League, the WHL, and I don't know what I was thinking when I made that league. I created the league without team assignments. My thought at the time, and again, it was 15 years ago. maybe I've just gotten older in terms of the way I think. But at the time, I thought we're just going to make a pool of players, and then you can build your own hockey league. Put your players anywhere you want. You want to load up a really good team and have the rest of the teams, be cannon fodder. Fine. So that's the way the World Hockey League was through 2017 and 18. And then at that point, I began to think, we probably should have team assignment. And people were saying, well, I'm interested in this hockey league. Do you have teams assigned? I said, no. You have to do that yourself. So anyway, I'm making a long story long. We switched it to team assignments, optional team assignments, with the 20, and we rebranded the league as 2018-2019 Hockey North America. We did that for 2018-19. We did it for 2019-20. And I think we were planning for a 2021, and then, I don't know, COVID hit, and we just never did get around to releasing a 2021 Hockey North America. And then it sort of sat idle, or in hibernation, dormant, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But from time to time, people say you should have a fictional hockey league, and I would then have to explain that we did. So anyway, for the XHL, we've sort of age progressed all the players from Hockey North America, and many of them played also in the World Hockey League. So you have, I want to say, about 20% of the players from the 2019-20 Hockey North America card set are included in the XHL. So you got Nick Kincannon, you've got Kurt Connaughton, you've got other names escape me, but you've got a good core of familiar names from the previous incarnations of a fictional hockey here at Play. So this will be the XHL, and we will release that right around Memorial Day, along with our suggested rule set, and we will be having a massive XHL tournament during the convention. One of the things that really was kind of a neat angle for the Flota set that we put out last year, which I'm strongly considering doing for the XHL, is a subset of transfer players. In soccer, it's transfer players, real worldwide stars who could then be grafted into the Flota. So it's kind of fun to have Harry Kane, playing for Baja California or whatever. And so I think we will probably do the same thing with the XHL. We'll provide a subset of real pro hockey stars who you can graft into your XHL. These guys, the owners have unlimited money. They can hire anybody they want. So you can get the big stars from the NHL to play in your XHL. So that is exciting and going to be happening a little bit earlier than we planned, the end of May rather than the end of June. But be watching for an XHL dedicated stream coming. That is card set number 2.
Number 3.
That's not card set number 3, right? I'm losing track. There's so many card sets, so little time. The 4th card set is probably the one I'm most excited about, and I'm pretty excited about all these actually. This is a new vintage football season that we will be releasing just after the convention, most likely. It's the 1985 USFL, the 40th anniversary of the league's final season. And it just seems right to release it. We've had some interest in the USFL seasons, and frankly, I think most people kind of agree that the '84 season was the best USFL season. But we already released that years ago. We released that years ago in the team sheet format, and we redid the World Football League set. I felt like that was justifiable and worthwhile last year, but I felt like for the USFL, I feel like we should do a new card set. Well, there's only 3 seasons, and I think the '85 season is given that it's the 40th anniversary of it. Hard to believe it's been 40 years. Seems like just yesterday I was sitting in the Astrodome watching, Jim Kelly and Steve Young, but it has been 40 years, so it's a landmark time, a good time to release it. But man, there were some great players in that league. I was just, going over as I'm creating these teams. Steve Young, Doug Flutie, Bobby Hebert, Jim Kelly. Those are just a handful of quarterbacks. World class. Herschel Walker, Joe Cribbs, Kelvin Bryant, Gary Anderson, Archie Griffin, and Mike Rozier, Heisman Trophy winners also. Anthony Carter, Ricky Sanders, Gary Clark. Just the teams were, I would say as a league on the whole, it was not on par with the NFL quite yet, but it was, but some of the better teams were pretty good. And that final game, the championship game between the Stars and the Invaders, I actually have a video cassette of that game somebody sent me years ago. We don't have a VHS machine anymore. I'd watch it again, but I still have the video. But watching that game, I remember watching that game thinking, these are two very good teams, very good teams. This is not slop football. This is excellent football. Jim Mora, of course, coached the Stars, and anyway, I feel like this is a really exciting set. I'm excited to get it out, and we will celebrate the 40th anniversary of the USFL with an official second season card set this summer. So we'll have all four major sports, hockey, basketball, baseball, and football, with new card sets coming out before the summer. That's pretty exciting. All right, that's the card set news. Let's talk game news. It's mostly, for the near term anyway, Play Now game news, and pretty exciting. Let's talk about real-time Proficient, which will debut at play.com. We will have the box version of the set. We've been working on the box graphics and the cards. I'm going to insist that the cards stay the same because I love the cards that we designed for the fish for the holiday version. We're just going to print them and on a probably on a white stock with a colored back, as opposed to printing them on colored cards, which I did for my set for playtesting purposes and for demo purposes. We are also working on, and again, I get excited talking about it because I think it's super fun. This was a suggestion that Travis Jansen made back around Christmas time about what if you had like different lakes for the fishing. Where like some lakes are really hard and some lakes are, you can just catch a lot of fish, but they're all small. And I sort of ran with that idea, and we're going to have a set of 12. It's like a set of 12 different lakes that you can, add on to your game. And, you can combine that with the Fishing Pros cards, and you can have your own, pro fishing tour where you're going from lake to lake to lake. And each lake is different. Some lakes are, I won't go. We'll do a dedicated show on the lakes expansion and real-time pro fishing. But anyway, that is coming out at the convention, and we'll have both the printed game and the lakes expansion set. Both of those products will be available as printed products and also as PDFs, in keeping with our Play Now brand. Truckin' 76, that is coming in August. I did a good amount of work on that earlier this year. Lately, I've been working mainly on the fishing game, but earlier in the year, right after the first of the year, through really into February, I was working on Truckin' 76, mostly focused on the solo strategy options. Also working on ways. This is an idea that I just had. I thought we should make this so that you can win this game without breaking the law, just for ethical purposes. You want to be able to play this game, with somebody who's got ethics and have a chance to win without, breaking the law. So I have been working on that. I'm not going to say that it's more fun, but it is something that I'm working on for the game and other solo strategy options. So that will be ready in August, and again, will be available both as a printed game and as a PDF game. And finally, our other game news comes from our friend Mike Fitzgerald. He has been developing a new edition of Mystery Rummy. Of course, he's well known for the Mystery Rummy series that he created and was quite the thing in the card and board game hobby years ago. And he released 5 different editions of Mystery Rummy, and this will be the 6th, Mystery Rummy 6th. It's Sherlock Holmes themed, so you're solving mysteries as you're solving this sort of like a card puzzle almost. And I'm going to have Sam show you that. Sam has really kind of been hands-on with Mike while I've been working on the other stuff, and he's going to take the seat here behind the camera and show you and talk about Mystery Rummy 6, and then also segue from that into the mass production category. for our stream. And then I'll come back and wrap it up with the live events news. So I'm going to get out of the way here. Sam's taking over. Be right back.
Good evening, gamers. Hello, hello. Hope we're all doing well tonight. Fun show so far, right? Everybody give it up for Keith.
Oh.
Doing a great job. He can read the chat right now, so this is your chance to engage with him in the chat room. Yeah, so like Keith was talking about, Mystery Rummy 6 is an upcoming release for it's going to be a play now game. So why don't I just go ahead and show you? I should have done this before I got over here, but you're gonna need to switch me over to the game cam.
Oh, how do I do that?
Let me do it. Oh, sorry, blank screen for a second, guys. I'll be right back.
I could show the Millie.
Okay, so this is Mystery Rummy 6. I'm not really going to get into gameplay at all because we want to keep things moving here tonight. But I'll just show you what the cards are looking like. I've got a few things to show you that are all in various stages of completeness. Mystery Rummy 6, the game is complete. We're still working on the artwork. You'll notice there's no card backs on these, and there's no sleeve on this little deck box. It's going to come in a little deck box like this. That's the current plan, at least. It's the same size as the, you might remember the Draft Duel physical copies from, gosh, what was that, 2 Christmases ago now? Something like that. That's hard to believe that Draft Duel was that long ago, but sure enough. So I'll just kind of show you what some of the cards look like. The idea is that it's all familiar characters from, I think it's 2 different Sherlock Holmes cases. And as the name suggests, you're going to play a rummy-like game by matching sets of them, and you're using it to sort of discover evidence, make deductions, solve cases, and Keith kind of hit the nail on the head by saying that it's really a card puzzle. You've got a deck of cards, and the last time we were playing with Mike, he described it as you've got the deck of cards, and your job is just sort of you're going to shuffle it up, and then your job is to rearrange it in the correct way before you run out of cards in the deck. And so I thought that was a good way of describing it. Doesn't quite do justice to the where the fun is with the game. I should say it is a cooperative game. When Mike first started working on it, he was designing it with co-op play in mind. However, since we've been talking with him about publishing it, we've made it clear that, for it to work as a play now game, the solo aspect really needs to be super strong. So he's been hard at work making that the case, and it seems like it's in a very good place now as far as the solo component. So here's what some of the cards look like. I won't go, again, like I said, I won't go into too much detail here, but just wanted to give you sort of a first look at Mystery Rummy 6, and that is going to be coming out within the next couple of months here, certainly before the convention. I think we have a date in mind for it. Dad, do you remember what the date is?
For Mystery Rummy?
Yeah. Were we looking at Memorial Day?
Weekend.
Memorial Day weekend.
Along with the XHL.
Along with the XHL, that's correct. Yes. So expect this Memorial Day weekend, and expect it to look, perhaps a little bit different than it looks right now. So that is Mystery Rummy 6. I also wanted to show you a few things that I'm working on over at Studio Spicy right now. So why don't I just get right into that? The first one, this is the most complete thing that I'm going to show you tonight. This is called Cat Party. This is basically done, guys. We are the idea is for this to be a mass-produced game. I'll touch on mass production here in a moment, but before we do, let me just show you kind of what the game is. For those of you that played a game of mine called Cards with Shapes, you might have played it at Play.con last year. It might have been called Kudos at that point too. This is the latest and final version of that. So instead of shapes, as I was working on the design, I was thinking, man, I need to start moving some units. I should come up with like sort of a marketable theme for this that's not just, generic. But what's more marketable than cats, right? Everybody loves cats. So here's what some of the colorful cats look like. There's even a dog in there for all you dog lovers. Yeah, I'll just kind of briefly thumb through the deck there. You're collecting cats. It's a multiplayer game. Very light, almost party weight. A little more strategy than that. There's definitely some depth and complexity there. Anybody, again, if you played Kudos or Cards with Shapes, then you know kind of what's going on here. But yeah, that's something that's in the works over at Studio Spicy. My friend Court did the art for it, which I'm very excited about. I think it looks super cool. And yeah, wanted to share that with you real quick. And then I also wanted to share, as I'm packing this up, the latest incarnation of Mythmash. You probably, you might be familiar with the original version of Mythmash that came out. Oh gosh, I was working on it for forever, but it finally got mass-produced last year, and it's up for sale on spicy.com right now. It's sp1cy.com. It's on play.com too, so you can, of course, order it there. But I've got, it's not really a sequel. It's not really an expansion. It's more just a new version of it. So it takes the core gameplay and expands it with all new cards, characters, abilities, some new mechanics tossed into the mix. But I'm calling it Mythmash Chrono Clash. So this is the working logo at the moment. This is certainly the least final of everything that I'm showing you right now. But we do have the logo ready, and I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. I also have a few character images, a few card images that I've recently started to get back from my artist. We're in the final stages of, we got all the sketches done. I approved all of that. Now we're waiting on the colored final illustrations to come in. So I just wanted to show off a few of those tonight. And here is sort of what Mythmash Chrono Clash is looking like right now. These are the 4 starting characters. Anybody that's played Mythmash before will remember you in the base version of the game. You start with 3 knights, 3 soldiers, and a summoner in your hand. In this version, there's actually 2 different starting factions. There's an ancient faction and a future faction. They both do the same thing, but just to add a little extra theme to the game, it does have sort of a time travel-y flair to it. So there's stuff from the ancient past and stuff from the distant future, and it's all kind of mashed up in a big myth mash, you could even say. So this is future guys, this is ancient guys, and of course this is just 4. I think there's 30 total characters in this one, so pretty we've expanded it a little bit from the base version, and I'm really excited about how it's coming along. So that's the last thing I wanted to share in terms of game news. But as Keith mentioned, I did also want to touch on mass production briefly. Of course, all the Studio Spicy stuff is headed to mass production, and we also have second season headed to, or slated to head to mass production this year as well. As I'm sure everyone is aware, there is a bit of an ongoing tariff situation unfolding that is impacting our timeline on this a little bit. My expectation is that this will all kind of settle down in the next few months or so. But for the time being, it does sort of make it challenging for us to place an order for mass production and not really know what we're going to be paying on the way out. But just wanted to let you know that those plans are all sort of being delayed a little bit. We'll, of course, keep you posted as that situation continues to unfold and as we have more info to share. But that's about the extent of it. Lots of cool stuff in the works. I'm going to hand it back over to Keith, and he's going to continue on with non-game related Play Games news. So thanks for tuning in tonight. I'll see you guys later.
I'm back. Yes. I don't really have anything more to add to what Sam said. He pretty much summed it up very nicely. Let's move to live events news. Of course, the next big live event is Digital to DiceCon in Preston, Connecticut, May 16th to 17th. I will be there in my pink jersey. I saw references to that in the chat. It's magenta, not pink. It's magenta. It is an authentic jersey. I mean, they did actually wear those jerseys. You can Google it. And I like the Southern California Sun. They have a very strong Saints connection. Tom Fears was the head coach. So anyway, I enjoy wearing it. And my son, my adopted son, that sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? My adopted son, SUN, are 5-5 after 10 games. So I'll do a report on that sometime soon. It's been really a lot of fun though. Really, really enjoyable. And I super enjoyed playing against Kevin and Steve and Rich in Indiana. It's great to play by yourself, but it's great to play head to head with fellow football game enthusiasts. So, Digital to DiceCon, May 16th and 17th, Preston, Connecticut. I'll be wearing my pink jersey and playing Vinny Mancini. He'll be the New York Stars. I'll be the Southern California Sun. And I have room for an afternoon game. I know that there are a couple of people who are considering coming and in discussions. But if you'd like to play, I do have my afternoon free on Saturday to play a second game, or I'll just play other games. It's however it unfolds. I'm taking kind of a casual approach to the to IndyCon and to this Digital to DiceCon, just sort of letting it flow. It's nice to not have to organize anything. But that will end for Play.con. We are busily organizing that, June 26th, 27th, 28th. Just made the reservation for the picnic shelter, exploring the catering options, checking in with the hotel. Going to do what I can to make sure we have a little bit better sound system this year than we did last year. But the space is going to be great. It's super excited about the itinerary, and again, we are sold out. There is a wait list. We could have a couple of late cancellations. So if you'd like to, be part of Play.con, you can get on the wait list for passes. Again, it's not like I'm trying to exclude anybody. It's just we have 80 seats, room for 80 people to play games, against each other, and I don't want to have somebody not have a place to play. So we did cap it at 80 this year. We're exploring the possibility of being at BGGCon in Dallas. That's November 19th through the 23rd. That's the weekend before Thanksgiving. We were going to go last year, but then we felt I think it was a little bit closer to the holiday sale last year. I think literally we'd get back and then we would have to start the holiday sale. So we did not go. And I think both Sam and I sort of felt like, it would have been nice to go to that. It's within driving distance, and we've always we do have a pretty good presence on Board Game Geek with our various games. So we are looking at the possibility of going to that. If we do go to that, we will be an exhibitor rather than just a participant. So we will have a booth there, and we'll keep you posted on that. Possibly one other live event before 2025 ends. Two options we're considering. Both of them are in Ohio. There's the Gridiron Games at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I did that last year. We did the 74 World Football League revival. It'd be kind of fun to do the 85 USFL at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The other possibility is a possible fall meetup in the Columbus area, sort of the Ohio version of last year's Utahtober, where we get together, we play the Commissioner's Surprise Tournament, we play some other things, and probably not able to do both of those. So we'll do one or the other if we move in that direction. And again, we'll have more information on that later. But those are the two options we're considering for late summer, early fall. And that wraps up our live events: Digital to DiceCon, Play.con, BGGCon, and possibly one other event in Ohio this latter part of the year. One other thing to talk about, and that's our Duplo. The Duplo is our finishing machine. I think we've actually given people a tour of our little production facility here at Play HQ. We have two pieces of pretty sophisticated equipment: a printer a BizHub printer, which prints the materials. Then we have a Duplo finisher, which cuts and perforates and scores and sorts and does all the non-printing stuff. Well, we've been printing so much stuff over the last couple of years that we actually wore out the rollers, and the rollers were getting to the point where we were unable to sufficiently have sufficient quality on some of the items that were printed on the 18 by 12 stock. Specifically, we're talking about the College Hoops Playdown cards, the 75 years of racing cards were all sort of at the mercy of the Duplo rollers being out of wax. That's one of the reasons why we took them off. I finally bit the bullet 3 weeks ago and had them repair the Duplo. It was an expensive repair, to say the least. But the upside is that we are now able to. It's much less stressful printing here. I mean, there were ways you could kind of compensate for it with they have a skew mechanism on this machine, but it's potluck, hit or miss. So now it's fixed, and we're able to produce much better. So we've put the 75 years of racing is now back in stock, as is the College Hoops Playdown. We're going to leave them in stock through the end of the month, and then we're going to go and take them off permanently. And we have other products we want to replace them with. We have a new College Hoops Playdown set that will be coming later. I don't have a specific timeline on it, but we will be updating that and redoing that set. So the current College Hoops Playdown, we'll go ahead and put it on the site for the rest of the month of April. Same thing with the 75 years of racing. We have some other ideas that we will be pursuing down the road. So we'll leave both of those sets. They're both now available in stock. If you want them, go ahead and get them. And they'll be available through April 30. And the 75 all-time great Hoop Stars. That is also that's not live right now. I meant to make that live. That is not live. We did not have time to print and perf those today. So we'll aim for it either tomorrow or first part of next week to get the 75 all-time great Hoop Stars cards back in stock. And that is all I have for tonight. It's actually quite a bit of stuff. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, obviously you can reach out to us via email. The email address is info@play.com, or you can just click the contact us link at the bottom of the page on our website. Next week, we're going to take a closer look at Mystery Rummy 6 that Sam was telling you about. We're talking to Mike Fitzgerald a couple days ago. He's working really hard recently, in recent weeks, to really fine-tune the solo rules and make it. We had a discussion about how our crowd particularly is a lot of us play solo games. We will play with other people, but a lot of times we don't have anybody else to play with. So a solo contingent is important. And so Mike's been working really hard on the solo version of this game. And last time we spoke, he was through the roof excited about some of the tweaks that he's come up with. So we'll demonstrate those. If you're a solo gamer and you like historical themes for games, be sure to join us next week. In the meantime, thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you have a joyous Easter weekend. Our church is having our services outside on Easter Sunday, and it's supposed to be 20s tonight and snowing. So the good thing is we'll have 24 hours for it to get back to springtime, and in Colorado, that's not a problem. I fully expect we'll be spring again by Sunday. But yeah, snow on the way tonight and tomorrow. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you again next week for some fun with Sherlock Holmes and his crew. Right here on the Play Space Live.